Hey guys, I wanted to show you the steps I go through to make a coaster. And first I start off with these little plastic coasters that I buy from the dollar store. You get 4 for $1, and so they're 25 cents a piece. And they've got a cork on them that lasers really nice. And so I want to show you how I do this. The first thing I did was figure out the diameter of this coaster, and then I built a jig, which I'll show you in a minute, for this, so that it will fit down inside of a jig each time. The next thing I did is figured out how much space I have to work with in here, and so I just took my micrometers and measured this inside. And so that gives me an idea here what I'm working with. Okay, now that I've got those figures up on the screen here, this is I'm using Inkscape, which is an open source free application. And so this outer line right here, this gives me an idea the outer limit, or the if I were to put this up here, this very outer part right here of the coaster, and this inner line right here is the inside. So the outer circle is 4 inches, the inner circle is 3.31 inches. So this gives me the space I have to work with right inside here. So I've added some text and add a little graphic here, converted this right here to a vector. It started off as a bitmap. I converted it to a vector simply by going up and going to path and tracing bitmap, and then I removed the bitmap and kept the vectored image, and then just put some text on here. Went up to path, object to path, and that way now it is also vectored. It's not text, it's vectored image. So anyway, after I got all this stuff positioned where I want it and kind of made it look nice, now it's time to export this. And so what I do is just simply file and do a save as, and I'm going to save this to a thumb drive, so that eventually I'm going to move this this file need to go over onto the CNC machine. So I'm going to save this over to this removable disk, and I'm going to give it a name, and so now it's saved. The problem is that this right now, if I were to right now I've got to convert this to CNC, something that the CNC can use. So I'm gonna use this free application here, and you can just do a search for it, called MakerCam, and it's located up on this address right here. But just do a search for MakerCam on Shapeoko. There's a couple of websites that's got it. You can either download it locally or use it on the web, either way. So the first thing you want to do is go to Edit Preferences and make sure that you've set this to 90 inches, or I'm sorry, 90 pixels per inch. If this is set for 72, your scaling is going to be all off. So first thing you want to do is change that to 90 right off the bat. Okay. Now, once that's done, now I'm going to open the SVG file that we saved earlier. This is it right here. Okay, now I'm going to bring it in. Now, sometimes if I haven't grouped things together, some things kind of get scattered around. In this particular case, it's really no big deal, because like this circle right here, which should be around here, is moved up. So no big deal. I'm not going to use it anyway. I'm going to delete it. And the same thing with this outer circle. I don't want it either, so I'm going to delete it. Okay. Now what I'm left with is this assisted living. The other thing I do is I make sure that my setting up here is set to inch, so it makes things a little easier. So I know that the center of my object here should be about 2 inches. So it should be 2 by 2. So that'd be right about in here, and so that way I can kind of confirm. I like to have those circles in here so that I know that I'm lined up correctly. So anyway, now that I've got it loaded, now it's time to do some cam work on it. And this one is going to be really super simple. So I'm just going to highlight everything and then come up here to cam, and I'm going to do a follow path operation. Okay, and in here, the only thing you gotta watch for is that the tool diameter doesn't really matter. It doesn't, not when we're going to be lasering eventually. So I'm just going to give it like a 0.001, so that so that everything's nice and tight. But again, this doesn't matter. The only thing that really matters is that the target depth and the step down rate is the same. So if you change this to 0.05 and your step down rate's 0.05, that's fine, as long as the two of them are exactly the same. Because we're lasering, I'm going to speed this up to say 400 or so, because the laser can really fly pretty quick. So I want to increase my feed rate and quite a bit. Plunge rate doesn't matter. You can put that whatever you want. Safety height doesn't matter. Stock surface doesn't matter. Like again, the only thing that really matters here is that the step down rate and the target depth needs to be exactly the same. Okay, now that we've done that, and we're going to do a follow path, I'm going to click OK. And now the next thing I'm going to do is go up to cam and calculate all. And sometimes this could take a minute or two. In this case, it was pretty quick. So now that it's calculated it, if we want, we can zoom up on this, but I'm fairly confident it's going to be okay. So now the next thing we need to do is go up to cam, and let me get this focused in here. I hope this focuses. Ugh. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm going to export G-code. So now that I've selected that, I've only got one path, so I'm gonna select it, and then go down to export selected toolpaths. Now I need to save this to, in my case, I need to save it to the thumb drive. So I'm going to make sure I've selected it, which I have, and it's going to put an extension NC. So what I like to do is use the same file name and then just change the extension NC. Like that. Okay, now I'm going to save that, and I'm not going to close this. I'm just going to minimize it. All right, now the problem is that G-code is actually set up for a mill, which is not going to work really good for our application. So I've written this little program, and I'll give it to anybody that wants it. Just send me a private message. Or leave a note in the comment what your email is, and I'll send you the code. It's a little thing I wrote in Visual Studio, and what it does is when you launch it, it just pulls up a dialog box right here, and what it's going to do is open up the original G-code file, and it's going to replace it with instead of the milling commands like for your Z-axis, it's going to convert all that for use for a laser to turn the laser on and off. So I'm going to select the file, click OK, and so it converted it. Now, just for grins, I'm going to go ahead and come in here and take a look at that and show you some of the differences. So I'm going to open up the original file, and I'll open up the modify file, and I'm going to try to get them both up here side by side. I can get this split off here. There we go. Okay, now I got the two of them up here, and so I'll just point a couple of things out. This on this side here would be the G-code, and you can see right here the first thing it's going to do is move the Z-axis up, and over here, my program is going to make sure the laser's off, which it should be off, but I just make sure it's off. Anytime the Z-axis goes up, I make sure that the laser is off. I'm using this undocumented M10P1, which works very well with the latest version of Mach 3. Okay, now the next thing, I come on down, and on over here I have an M3 code. I just remove it. I get rid of it. Don't want it. And that would normally turn the motors on. Now I come down here to this next one over here, and you can see where the Z-axis is going down 0.05, feed rate 30. Come over here, see what it did? I'm going to replace this code with this one, M11P1. That's going to turn the laser on, and so forth. So it's going to go down through the code and massage it, parse it out, and change everything to use this M11P1 code. All right, so now that we've done that, now it's time to take this over to the CNC machine. So bear with me. I'm going to eject this thumb drive real quick. There we nope something. Oh, it's this right here. This is open. So let's close this. Bear with me one moment. All right, let's eject that. Okay, now we're safe to move. Alrighty, so I'm going to pull the thumb drive out and come over here to the CNC machine. Bear with me a second here while I change hands. Alrighty, now that I've done that, I'm going to, alright, get this focused up here. I'm going to load that G-code. Now, you'll see the difference. This one right here is the original, and I just append and put _laser. So the original code's here, and the one with _laser is the modified one. So I'm going to load that up into Mach 3, and so it's all loaded up, and make sure that my Z-axis is, all my axes are zeroed out. Okay, everything looks cool here. Now, I need to go over to the CNC machine itself and make sure that my laser is lined up with I've got a little dot right here. Now I've already aligned this, and what I do is I just manually fire the laser and make sure the laser is going to hit this little dot right here. That dot represents the 0 X and Y coordinates. So that right there sets everything up. Alright, so let me grab a blank coaster here. Now I've already previously, I was going to show you my jig. I mic'd out the bottom of one of these, and it came to just a little over 4 inches. So I went ahead and milled a piece of MDF so that this coaster fits perfectly down in it. I know where my zero's at each time, and so it makes making these coasters really easy because I don't have to spend a lot of time figuring out where my Z-axis needs to be. Alright, so you can see I've got my little laser down here. It's already pre-focused where it needs to go. So now that that's ready to roll, I'm going to come up here, and where's my goggles at? Let's see. Yeah, blue ones. Alright, let me get my safety goggles on here. Protect my eyes against that laser just in case I should get a glance at it. Okay, now everything looks good here. I've got the file loaded up, and if I can get that glare, there we go. Got the file loaded up. You can see my Z-axis 0. My X and Y starts right here, and it shows me my path that everything's going to take. All right, so now we're done with. We're ready to fire it. Everything looks good. I'm going to go ahead and start the code, and jump back over here to the machine, and you can see it's starting to move to the right coordinates. Now it's beginning to fire. It's going to start with the tail of the bird and start working its way up. This may seem a little boring, but give it a minute here. I need a tripod for this phone. That starts out looking a little bit like a cat. sorry about that. Trying to change hands here. There we go. This laser is mounted on the back side of the CNC machine, and so it's a little difficult to get the phone back in behind here. Got kind of close on that one. This bird just barely fits. There's no room for error aligning this bird on here. While this is doing its business, I'll show you a little bit about my machine. Okay, up here I've mounted a fan, so whenever the laser, or for that matter, if I'm using the machine as milling, anytime the motors are on, or the spindle and vacuum is on, then this fan runs. And in this particular case, the fan's necessary to blow the smoke away so it doesn't interfere with the laser. So anyway, that fan's running, and that's run off of this relay right here. So every time there would have normally been a z-axis movement going up, then the laser will turn off. When the z-axis would have been driving down, then the laser comes on. And I've just got both of these relays here running together, so the fan kind of comes on and off whenever the laser comes on, and that works out fine. And so that's and when I'm using the laser, I make sure that the spindle or the router is turned off here. There's no need for that thing to be running, and I also turn the vacuum off. No need for it. So now let's see where we're at here. Get back around here. Okay, it's finishing up the head now. Working on the wings, beak, and now the text. Boy, I got close on that one. That A is like right on the edge of that cork. Boy, I couldn't have gotten any closer than that. Okay. Ooh, that cork kind of stinks. I don't think it's toxic, it just stinks. Okay, it's going to spell out assisted living. That's some friends of ours boat. That's the name of it. Neat name. Okay, here's the D. That red laser really burns deep. I probably should have sped this up a little faster so it didn't burn so deep and dark, but that's okay. It'll still look good. These letters are big and fat, so I can get away with it. Just working on the G. And the last thing it should do is come back to home. Should line right back up on that dot. There we go, done. So let me pop this out of here so we can take a better look at it. Okay, there's the finished product. Kind of cool, and looks good. I'm really happy with that for a quick and easy little gift. Works out great. Alright guys, just want to show you what I'm doing laser wise. Have a good one.